I guess they are, yeah. Okay, I guess we're ready to call the Property Maintenance Advisory Board meeting to order. First, we have a couple of absences. Ken Dotson and Angela Dixon are not here tonight. So now we want to approve the minutes of the August 26, 2019 meeting. Is there a motion to approve those minutes?
I'll make a motion.
Okay, Daniel makes a motion. Is there a second?
A second.
Thanks, Matilda. Is there any discussion? All in favor? Say aye.
Discussion about.
I did have something I need to bring up that was in the old business. Do I need to do that now or do that later? Are we?
Is it about the minutes themselves?
It's what's in the minutes.
Well, I don't exactly know what would be the appropriate time to bring this up.
Are the, what is it, what I'm saying is, are the minutes incorrect?
I have an issue with one.
Matilda?
I have an issue with one that we approved at the last meeting, and I feel like that this property on 411 East Ensign Street, no, I'm sorry, it's on High Tech. Oops, where is it? Oh, it's 804 High Tech Drive. I feel like that is not in compliance, and I feel like that that it should be looked at again. It was item 6 in our old business.
Are you sure it's 804?
I think it's
Are you sure it's 804?
Is it
I think it's 719.
719?
719 High Tech?
Okay, I've got the wrong one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But from last meeting, it would have probably been 719.
Is that it? 719?
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
719?
Yes.
I'm sorry, could you tell me again what your point was about the...
Well, I believe there's a car there that is not tagged. I cannot legally go on someone else's property. I have no authority to do that. So this would be left up to Kristen or whoever's in charge to go in and check this property again. But when I did make a picture, and I don't remember that big what do you call it, that 18-wheeler thing? It's still there. And as I was driving off, I thought, I'm not 100% sure, that the, one of the automobiles doesn't even have any tires on it in the front, even though it does have a tag on it. So my issue is, you know, if you just go put a tag on a car and it doesn't run, you know, it's kind of defeating the purpose. So I think this needs to be readdressed.
I see on our last meeting, his notes said that this property appears to be in compliance. All vehicles have been tagged, including the trailers. He has made arrangements to have the trailers towed. So if you think that there is still an issue, we can put it on the agenda for our next meeting and
I
see.
do.
Okay. Why don't we add that to our agenda for the next meeting?
Okay, thank you.
Is that okay?
Yes.
Okay. Are there any, well, did we have our vote? We didn't finish our vote. To approve the minutes of the August 26th meeting minutes. Is there a motion to approve those minutes?
I'll make the motion.
Oh, you seconded it, didn't you?
Yes.
Okay. And we had our discussion. Is there any, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay, any opposed? Okay. Any additions or deletions to the agenda for tonight? Okay, if there's no additions or deletions, we will start with old business. Christian is, of course, not here again. He is recovering from surgery. I do have notes on these properties, so we will go with the notes, and anything that we don't agree with or don't understand, we can delay to our next meeting. Is it not working?
It's going down on this. I mean, I can click the down button, but she's obviously doing something. I'll click and change it.
I'll quit. You just put it on the second one.
Okay, so I'll just push this down. What did you get?
We nothing.
Nothing. This first property is at, and I don't have my glasses with me, 519 West Main Street, truck across from the Dairy Queen. And what this says is it was found in violation by us for abandoned, wrecked, dismantled, or inoperative vehicles. And the according to him, 60 days ended August 31st. Now, what happens after 60 days, according to the abandoned vehicle code, is another letter is sent, and then they have 30 days to remove it, or the city removes it for them. So the time now has been set for the vehicle has to be moved by October the 19th. So,
Did they ever find out who owns that?
yeah. So they have until October the 19th to move it, or the city will move it. So that's where that stands. So that is still open. And I don't know if I guess she's got a picture of that, but it is still there. 411 East Henson Street was found in violation of abandoned, wrecked, dismantled, or inoperative vehicles. According to his notes, the car has been moved, and so that issue has been resolved. So what we need now is a motion that this property is now in compliance with the abandoned, wrecked, or dismantled inoperative vehicles code. What are we doing? Are we going to watch it up here?
You just have to watch it up here.
Okay.
Yeah.
There's the Dairy Queen truck, and it's still there. Okay. We're now on the second one.
Did you get the motions?
Not on, we just said it's still open.
Okay.
Okay, the East Henson, 411 East Henson, we need a motion that this issue has been resolved and the vehicle has been moved. Does anybody want to make a motion?
See it.
Make a motion.
Okay, Randall makes a motion. Is there a second on that?
I'll second it.
Daniel makes a second. Is there any discussion?
Yes, I would like to discuss that because I live directly across from that house, and I know the vehicle that he's referring to, and it has been moved, but there is another vehicle on the property that
A new
is
vehicle?
inoperable. This one's been there for quite some time. It predated the vehicle that has now been
Oh.
moved. So it's still there.
It's still there,
And
so it's not resolved?
No, it is not resolved.
Okay. So with that discussion, does anybody want to change their motion?
He said it hadn't been moved.
He said there's a second vehicle on the property that has not been moved. Now, we can postpone this to the next meeting. We can find it still in violation and postpone it and get an update at the next meeting.
And if that's the case, I'll change my motion
Okay.
to, let's just, until Christian gets back and can assess the property,
Okay.
then we'll
Okay.
see, put it on old business or put it for business for next week or
Okay.
next month.
So this property will be reviewed again at our next meeting, due to the fact that there is a second vehicle on the property that is still there. Okay. Third one is 210 Wendell Street. We found it in violation of the Chapter 1 miscellaneous code.
I
And
don't know, we just want to pass it around.
if anybody wants to see this, we can move it around or whatever. The time was up on this property, according to him, on September 13th, and the property has not yet been cleared. So the city has said that they will be cleaning up this property as soon as possible. That's where the status stands on 210 Wendell Street. So we'll get an update on that at our next meeting. 211 Wendell Street was also found in violation of Chapter 1 miscellaneous code, and same thing, the time was up September 13th, not been cleaned up. City will be cleaning up the property as soon as possible. So we will get an update on that property also at our next meeting. 109 Buena Vista was found in violation of the property maintenance code miscellaneous, and that property has been cleaned up according to the notes. Do you have a picture of that Buena Vista?
Where's Buena Vista? Let me see.
And there's what it looked like before, and there's the after. So we either need a motion to, that this property is now in compliance.
I'll make that motion.
Okay, is there a second?
Second?
Okay, is there any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, that motion passes. Let me put this back to you. Okay. 804 High Tech Drive was found in violation of Chapter 1 miscellaneous. Okay. What's the after pictures? Or there's not any?
Yeah, that's the after.
Okay.
There's the after pictures.
I still got a lot of junk there.
Want to see these pictures?
We could move down.
Yeah.
We'll move forward, and there's the after pictures. Matilda, your microphone is still on. According to the notes, the property appears to be vacated now, but there still, I guess, is items there that need to be cleaned up. And the city has sent a register letter that was returned, and now that it will need to be posted in the newspaper as per code to notify the property owner that this property is in violation of the miscellaneous code. So that is the status of that. So we will leave that one open until we get further update at the next meeting. 406 and 410 East Broad Street was found in violation of the Chapter 1 miscellaneous code.
There's no change.
That's not right.
There's no change.
Do you see that?
It's still the same.
Do you see that, y'all? It's the same. According to the notes, the property owner has hired a contractor to clear the property, and the contractor has given a date to Christian, but I do not know that date. I don't have that on here. But it is in the process of being cleaned up, so we will get an update on that at our next meeting. Okay, 1148 Byrdstown Highway was found in violation of abandoned, wrecked, dismantled, or inoperative vehicles. So you have the picture of that.
Oh, it ends October 15th. It's the same.
Okay, so the vehicles are still there. They have, their 60-day period ends October 15th, which means that they will then have another letter sent out to them, and then they'll have 30 days to comply with that. So it's still in the process, and we'll get an update at our next meeting. Okay, 605 Evans Street was found in violation of Chapter 1 miscellaneous. There's the before, and there's the after. Which looks like the property has been cleaned up. So if anybody would like to, we could have a motion to, that this property is now in compliance, or if anybody has any other thoughts on that other than that.
Make a motion that it's in compliance.
Okay, is there a second?
I'll second.
Okay. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay, any opposed? Okay, 201 North Cedar Street. It was found in violation of abandoned, wrecked, dismantled, or inoperative vehicles. The vehicle was it was a van on the city street, and it's still there. And they have until October 15th for the 60-day period. So that's still in the process of going through the checkoff for the code. 411 East Henson Street was found in violation of miscellaneous code.
It hasn't really changed.
And it's also not really changed. So can y'all see that? It still has stuff there. It's not really changed. See? Sorry. A registered letter was returned, and it will now need to go into the newspaper as per code to notify them of their violation. So that's still ongoing. 1144 Byrdstown Highway was found in violation of the miscellaneous code.
I have an after picture.
You don't have a picture?
I do, and I don't have it. Just a second.
My notes say it was cleaned up.
It is.
It's cleaned up.
Just a second. There it is.
Oh, okay. Do we have a motion on this piece of property?
I so move.
Is there a second that this property is now in compliance with the property maintenance code?
I'll make the second.
Okay. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye. Any opposed? Okay, now we have, that was also abandoned, wrecked. Oh, they have,
Still there.
okay, it also has an abandoned vehicle on that property, and it's still there. There's the picture of that. And it has they have until October 15th for their 60-day timeline. So we'll get an update on that at our next meeting. 303 Salina Street was found in violation of abandoned, wrecked, dismantled, or inoperative vehicles. It's this one, which is still there. Can you see that? And they have until October 15th. I just hit something way down here. Okay. Until October 15th for their 60-day period. Then we have 811 Apple Drive, which was found in violation of the miscellaneous code. Ooh, there's a before and an after here. Is there a motion on this violation?
I'll make a motion.
Okay, a motion and second that this violation is now, this property is now in compliance with the property maintenance code.
I'll second.
Okay, we've got it. Did we not do both, all of them? Did we vote? Okay. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Okay. Then we have 608 Burgess Street.
Has everybody checked on those folks? They're two real old women.
At 608 Burgess Street?
Yes. And they're not able to do it, and I'm not sure they're financially able to do it. They have it cleaned up, no.
I have got notes on this. It says that the city is cleaning this property up, and the owner has agreed to pay.
Okay.
So they obviously,
I knew that they were pretty bad shape
Yeah,
physically.
I don't know anything about the people, but that's what my notes say. The city's cleaning it up and owner has agreed to pay. So we will get an update on that at our next meeting. 204 South Good Pasture, slum clearance. It was found in violation of slum clearance. That's the old co-op building. Do you have any pictures of that at all, or?
Oh, just the same ones we saw.
Okay. So really, it's, I mean, it's,
This is fine.
yeah. It has been cleaned up some on the outside. You probably can't tell so much here, but anyway, a hearing has been set for tomorrow to meet, for him to meet with the judge in the city about this property. Then there's 212 Clark Street, which was found in violation of the miscellaneous code. So there's the before and after for Clark Street. Is there a motion on this property?
What was Christian's findings?
That it's been cleaned up?
Yeah.
I'll make the motion.
Okay, is there a second?
I'll second.
Okay, Mitchell seconds. Is there any discussion about this property? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, now we go to new business. We have 185 School Mountain Road. The code in front of us is a miscellaneous code. We got pictures on that also in our packet. Do y'all want to see these, or do you?
I'm sorry.
There they are. This home is, my notes say this home is scheduled to be torn down.
It's what?
It's scheduled to be torn down. So what we want to decide is, was this property in violation of the miscellaneous code according to these photos when this was investigated? Yeah. Huh?
Yeah.
Leave this, okay. Was this property in violation of the miscellaneous code when it was investigated? we need a motion. Your motion is that this property was in violation. Is there a second?
I second.
Is there any discussion?
I went by there today, but I couldn't find anything like this.
You mean it didn't look like this?
You know, I couldn't find anything drove up like that.
They may have started cutting stuff back. But what we have to decide is, was it in violation when it was investigated? And then when Christian comes to us at the next meeting, we can be told whether it was torn down, cleaned up, whatever. We just have to decide, was it in violation when it was investigated? So according to those photos, that's what we're voting on. Is there any other discussion about that property? All in favor that this property is in violation of the Property Maintenance Code miscellaneous chapter, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. 804 Oakland Park. We're just considering whether it's in violation of Chapter 2, abandoned, wrecked, dismantled, or inoperative vehicles.
Is that true?
Yeah. So is there a motion or any discussion here? I don't have any notes about this.
And there's no tag on the vehicle, is there?
She blocks the tag. I don't know whether there's a, I don't know whether it's,
It's expired.
Gotcha.
I think that the issue is from the picture, we can't tell. We can't find out from Christian if it runs or if it's,
Can we just table this to the next meeting?
that's, makes sense to me to do that, since
Just
we don't
table
really
this
know.
until,
Yeah.
for more information?
Yeah. So we'll put it back on the agenda for next month.
New business.
New business, yeah, we won't discuss it because our vote on it. 213 Robert Street. What we have to determine is, was this property in violation?
Do we have the original complaint on that property?
I don't have a
There
complaint.
was none.
Is this something?
So what we have to determine is, was this property in violation when it was investigated?
We have no notes from Christian.
Oh, no, we do. Has now been mowed.
It has been,
It has been mowed.
That was the only issue with the property, so I don't see any other reason why it'd be in violation. I'll make
So-
a motion to say it's in compliance.
But was it in compliance when he investigated?
I don't know. I guess it wasn't.
So Daniel, what is your motion?
I'll withdraw that motion and then I'll put a motion that said it was not in compliance at the time the votes were taken.
Okay. Is there a second on that?
If he says that it's in compliance now, then should we not vote on this?
We vote on what it was when he investigated it.
Well, then there's no reason for him to tell us that it's in compliance now, then, if it.
No, I
mean,
think that's just for our benefit.
Yeah, I mean, it's either, if it's not, if he said now it is in compliance, then we don't really need to address that issue.
We still have to determine if it was if it was out of compliance when he investigated it. That's all we have to do.
But I'll second it.
Okay. Is there any other discussion? All in favor, say aye. Any opposed?
no, he was here, he could,
Yeah.
He voted no.
But we have determined at previous meetings that our job is to determine if it was in violation when it was complained about or investigated, not where it is on the day that we have our meeting.
But
Because,
my issue is, then, we should not be told, we should just be discussing what it is in compliance at that time. So then, if he's saying, well, it is in compliance now, then that is another issue. So, there needs to be some kind of You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I know what you're saying.
I mean, are we going?
It doesn't really matter that it's been mowed now. I mean, that doesn't change what we do. I mean, I guess that was just here as a note, but that doesn't really affect what we're
The only thing
determining.
it would matter if it went past the 60 days before the next hearing or something.
Yeah, and see, it won't, because we have ours once a month, so. With the miscellaneous code,
You
he
wanna
doesn't
make a
have
comment
60
on
days
that?
anyway, it's less time.
They what?
They don't have 60
Uh-huh.
days with the miscellaneous code.
How long they have on?
15, they have 15
15 days, yeah, 15 days from the time of notice, or they have to ask for, they have to appeal. So by the time, if this has been taken care of now, when we get our update next month, it will still be taken care of. All we are determining tonight with the new business is, was it out of compliance at the time it was investigated? And then when he comes to us next month, he'll say it's been taken care of, and then we can drop it as being considered and followed. Okay. 916 West First Street. We are considering whether it is in violation of the miscellaneous code. Y'all have your photos too? Okay.
Which code was this in violation of?
Miscellaneous codes.
No, it says that right
Is there any motion regarding this property?
Is the only photo we have is the one on the side view? Because I didn't know if there was any.
I think that's a front view.
What is the-
I think that's the only one I got.
Yeah, I think it's a front
Oh,
view.
it's the front side.
Yeah. So I'll entertain a motion regarding this property,
I'll make the motion.
that it's out of compliance.
Out of compliance.
Okay, is there a second?
A second.
Is there any discussion about this property? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. 814 Greenfield Drive. We're considering whether it's in violation of the miscellaneous code. Any motion or any thoughts on this property?
What were those from Christian?
What?
Any notes from Christian on this?
Just that it's been mowed.
You said it says it's been mowed?
It says it's been mowed. But we have pictures when he investigated.
These are.
Yeah.
But from that picture, I can't really tell that it was even out of compliance to begin with.
And we don't have to agree.
Yeah, I'll make the motion that says it was in compliance when these pictures were taken, and it's been mowed since then, so it seems like the property's been cleaned up, so I'll make the motion that it is.
Is in compliance. Okay, is there a second on that or any other motion?
Second.
You'll second it. Is there any discussion about that? All in favor that this property was in compliance with the miscellaneous code when it was investigated? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. Okay, 824 Peach Drive. Abandoned, wrecked, dismantled, or inoperative vehicles is what we're considering. And I just have one picture of a side of a car, of a truck. Is there any motion or thoughts on this property?
I'll make the motion that it's out of compliance.
Is there a second?
A second.
Is there any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. Okay, 102 Kennedy Street. We're considering whether it's in violation of the miscellaneous code.
I'll make the motion that it is in violation.
All right, is there a second?
I'll second.
Is there any discussion? All in favor that this property is in violation of the miscellaneous code, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, that same property, 102 Kennedy Street, was also being considered for abandoned, wrecked, dismantled, or inoperative vehicles.
I'll make a motion that's out of compliance.
There's a motion that this is, automobile is out of compliance with the abandoned, wrecked, or dismantled, and inoperative vehicles. Is there a second?
A second.
Is there any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, 512 Hood Street. We are considering whether it's in violation of slum clearance.
Is the house abandoned? Is that the reason for the slum?
I think so. I think it's kind of busted open.
I'll make the motion that's out of compliance.
Is there a second?
I second.
Is there any discussion? Now, I do have a note here. This home is scheduled to be torn down.
No time to pictures.
Right, it was out of compliance. Is there any other discussion about this property? All in favor that this property was in violation of the slum clearance code, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. Any other business? Our next meeting will be, let's see, Monday, October the 28th at 5:30 p.m. Okay, and I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
I'll make the motion.
Is there a second? All in favor, say aye. Okay, thank you all.